Welcome everyone to our forum on Malaysia's National Education Blueprint Project. We have gathered here today to delve into the key issue raised in the blueprint and explore ways to enhance our education system. I'm your moderator for today, Nureen Murshidah, and I'm here to ensure a smooth and productive conversation. Here we have our distinguished panels of experts, including Ms. Aisyah Arifah, an expert in education policy and practices from the Ministry of Education, and Mrs. Nuranisa Soleha, a parent from the indigenous or Orang Asli community, with career spirit to enhance the Orang Asli community's education level. As we move forward, we encourage all of you to actively participate and feel free to address the questions to the panel speakers and share your valuable insights. So, without further ado, let's kick off our discussion. As many of you are aware, the Malaysia Education Blueprint, or NEB 2015 to 2025, serves as a strategic roadmap for the sustainable transformation of our nation's education system. It lays out five system aspirations that aim to shape the future of Malaysian education, which are access, quality, equity, unity, and efficiency. These aspirations are not only aligned with the inputs from the national dialogue, but also find common ground with the high-performing education systems around the world. Now, let's shift our focus to the current issues stemming from the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2015 to 2025. I would like to invite Ms. Aisha to kick off our discussion by sharing her thoughts on the challenges and concerns affecting the implementation of this blueprint. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the questions before. I would like to discuss about the issues raised in the Malaysian Education Blueprint. So, referring to the Malaysian Education Blueprint, higher education that builds on five aspirations, the issues that I will discuss in this forum will focus on aspects of quality of education. In the Malaysian Education Blueprint, quality refers to quality of high international standard where all students will have the opportunity to attain an excellent education that is uniquely Malaysian and can be compared to the high-performing education systems. Therefore, from my reading of past articles and research, there are some issues raised based on the aspiration regarding the quality of education, such as the lack of the ability to assess and reflect objectively the academic proficiency of students. There is starting misalignment between what we and what the international community that trends in international mathematics and science study, which is called TIMSS, consider as excellent. Also, not only did students in Malaysia perform poorly in TIMSS assessment of a high level thinking, they also had difficulties with basic knowledge. So it is indeed a very serious issue as the outcomes that should be achieved based on the National Education Blueprint is for Malaysians to be in the top third of the countries in terms of performance in international assessment based on TIMSS. So furthermore, I will explain deeper on the what is TMSS and what concerns our education to be on par with international standards. So TIMSS is an international assessment based on the mathematics and science curricula of schools around the world. TIMSS assess students in grade 4, which is equivalent to year 4, and grade 8 student, which is equivalent to Form 2 students along two aspects, which are content such as algebra and geometry, cognitive skills, and thinking process. But it is a harsh truth that our actual level of national education is far behind the international average, and this can be observed through the number of our students who perform below minimum in TISS assessment in all three skills, which is the skills is reading, mathematics, and science, which is more than the double that of Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development OECD countries. So the next one.
Thank you to our esteemed panel for sharing our valuable insights today. Um, As we continue, let's take a closer look at the Malaysia Education Blueprint's commitment to enhancing education quality, particularly from the perspective of our educated teachers. So, let's delve into one of the emerging challenges, which is teachers' professional development. Within the blueprint's framework for improving teaching quality, it is vital to understand the experiences and day-to-day challenges of our educators that face in delivering quality education. And recent research findings have shed light on these difficulties. One of it is teachers have to grapple with multifaceted issues, including disparities in resource allocation across schools, variations in classroom environments, and the diverse needs of students. Each of these factors add complexity of teaching landscape. And additionally, teachers often cope with substantial workloads and limited opportunities for professional development. When seen from the perspective, it becomes evident that they encounter real obstacles in fulfilling their mission to educate successfully. And now, let's introduce our next panel, Mrs. Nuranisa, who is most near to the heart of the education, which is the student who will bring fresh perspectives to our ongoing conversation. Mrs. Nuranisa, we are eager to hear your insight.
Thank you for inviting me today to talk about my perspective as a parent from the Orang Asli community on the issue of Malaysia education blueprint effectiveness and also parents' role and attitude that causes the increase in Orang Asli dropout statistics. So first and foremost, parents play a crucial role in children's educational attainment. Their perception influences their action in giving better formal education to their children. The capacity of parents to be active in their children's education is determined by their educational level. So in 2008, the literacy percentage of the Orang Asli was just 51%, compared to a national literacy rate of 93.1% in 2010. So in a study conducted in the Samai village, it was discovered that discrepancy between indigenous and non-indigenous people's education level. Particularly parents are unaware of the value of education in improving their own and their children's lives. They are also viewing schools as a place to send their children to play and eat. They are also orang asli parents who are cynical about the role of education in changing their social mobility, and they are also reluctant to accept the notion that formal education can help them to improve their living conditions. As a result, education is taken less seriously, and this undermines any efforts to tackle the problem of school dropouts, particularly those transitioning from primary to secondary school. Hence, it contributes to Orang Asli children's poor educational achievement. Many of the parents who was once a student too had to drop out of school due to early marriage, where they have to begin working for their families at a young age. In this sort of circumstances, these parents are labeled as uneducated individuals who are unable to provide a good example for their children when it comes to the value of education. So I am lucky to be one of the Orang Asli parents that see the value of education in enhancing my community's education level and social status. And I am currently working towards encouraging my own child to pursue formal education seriously. This is all possible because I had the opportunity to complete my studies in the tertiary level despite being from the Orang Asli community. Hence, I know very well the importance of education in making sure that my background as Orang Asli people is not going to hinder me from achieving greater success in life. It is all possible if you have the determination and support from people that can help you to pursue formal education. As mentioned in the Malaysia Education Blueprint, one of the aspirations of our national education system is to ensure that every Malaysian child deserves equal access to an education that will enable that child to achieve his or her potential. The ministry also aspires to ensure universal access and full enrollment of all children from preschool through to upper secondary school level by 2022. Every student will also receive a strong grounding in foundational skills of literacy and numeracy, as well as in science, which is a key growth area for the Malaysian economy. However, personally, I think that is quite impossible to achieve if you are in the Orang Asli community due to the negligence of parental role regarding providing formal education to their children because of the parents' own unavoidable and understandable incomprehension regarding the value of education. Thus, it is a long journey for Malaysia to achieve its aspiration of ensuring all children are given equal access to education by 2022. Back to the moderator.
Thank you, Mrs. Nurisa. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our esteemed panel for this insightful contribution that you have shared during our discussion. Your unique viewpoints about the Orang Asli have played an essential role in shaping our conversation. Now, I would like to offer my perspective on the concerns raised by teachers regarding the implementation of the National Education Blueprint 2015-2025. So, the teachers have expressed several concerns, primarily related to the assessment system and its alignment with the curriculum. They had stressed the importance of the aligning the assessment system with the curriculum and focusing on evaluating the skills and knowledge necessary for students to thrive in the 21st century. Now let's delve deeper into this concept. The first one would be the school-based assessment. So the teachers have voiced apprehension about the implementation of school-based assessment in school. They have highlighted challenges such as insufficient training and also resources needed for the effective assessments in the school-based assessment. And this underscores the essential requirement for the better support for teachers in conducting assessments towards the students in the classroom. Second would be standardization. These concerns have been raised by the teachers regarding the standardization of assessments across different schools and regions in Malaysia. So the absence of uniformity in the assessment system has generated discussions among the school teachers. They have argued that more competency is needed to ensure equitable and accurate assessments, addressing issues of inequality in evaluation. And now I am eager to hear the panel's opinions, Ms. Aisyah, regarding the concerns raised by the policymakers in this discussion.
Thank you for the moderator for the questions. So I will discuss the concern based on me, I myself as the education expert. So judging on the data provided in the blueprint, I feel that the quality of education in our country is indeed facing grave issues. Therefore, the concerns that I need to discuss is relating the quality of education in terms of the biggest problem, which relates to the use of TIMSS that I mentioned before. So in the ENEB, it mentioned that student performance in national examination has consistently improved each year. However, in international assessments, our students have performed poorly. Take for an example, in PISA or Program for International Student Assessment, Malaysia's performance was in the bottom third and below the international as well as OECD averages. So for the decline in Malaysia's performance in TIMSS from above the international average levels in 1999 and 2003 to below the levels in 2007, the blueprint has specifically provided in the explanation, which we can see in the National Education Blueprint. So there are three possible reasons on why we perform poorly in national level. So the reason mentions are the degree to which the content in the national curriculum matches that which is tested in the IMSS, the shift in language policy and sampling methodology. So, as such, in the final analysis, what is actually the major driver for our performance in the blueprint? It stops here and offers no further analysis. So, as an education expert, I view that the second and third reason, as mentioned above, constitute to the major driver for the performance. So the second reason, the policy shift to the teaching of mathematics and science in English could be significant. This new policy was implemented from 2003 to 2009, and timing coincided exactly with that of the two TMSS assessments. So the problem with this language policy shift is not just confined to the usage of a language, but it involves the teaching of the subjects in a language that the students were not familiar with, thus affecting the students' grasp of knowledge and skill learning. In fact, the teaching of mathematics and science in English was abolished in 2009, primarily because it had affected the students' learning, which resulted to the poor performance of the students. So, Minister of Education at the time, which is Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, has also openly admitted that the policy had achieved only an effectiveness of 2 to 3 percentage. So therefore, the policy of teaching mathematics and science in English appears to be the major driver for the students' performance decline, as well as the major concerns from the stakeholders' views. Thank you. So for the next discussion,
We truly appreciate the thoughtful insights provided by Ms. Aisyah as one of the education experts. Sharing has greatly enriched our conversation. Now, we look forward to welcoming our next panel to contribute their valuable viewpoints on this crucial subject. Mrs. Nuranisa, the floor is yours. We are excited to hear your perspective on the concerns raised by parents and other stakeholders regarding the implementation of the new national education system.
Thank you once again for your enthusiasm to listen to the minority's voice regarding the issue of Malaysian education blueprint implementation and how effective it is in educating orang asli parents to start valuing and treating formal education seriously in their children's lives. So orang asli pupils who are less competent in cognitive or in knowledge area is caused by parents' education level, which is low. Thus, it further encouraged them not to bother about the education of their children. So this is based on their own negative experiences in the past, whereby they are not able to finish their studies because of a few reasons, such as they have to marry early for them to support their family. Orang asli pupils also find it difficult to understand what is being taught by the teacher, and they become forgetful, have lack interest in attending school, and are easily discouraged, especially when they fail and lack motivation. Orang asli peoples were also found to have an interest in outdoors activities, but unfortunately, they have problems in mastering skills. So this has led pupils to have difficulty in capturing subjects that require problem solving, and it caused them to easily get bored and have no studying skills. Also, due to geographical remoteness, orang asli are not educated, and it reinforced the idea that there are no benefits in sending their children to school. Thus, this raises concern about orang asli pupils and communities' future and status in not only Malaysia education, but the nation as a whole, which includes the economy and social parts. Back to the moderator.
Thank you everyone for the valuable discussion so far. We have identified some significant issues and concerns related to the Malaysia's National Education Blueprint project. And it is very clear that addressing these challenges is a priority, especially to the educational system. As experts in this field, I'd like to invite our panel to share their thoughts on possible ways to minimize these issues. Let's focus on solutions. What strategies, measures, or changes do you suggest that could help mitigate concerns raised by stakeholders? Please feel free to share your recommendations or insights on how we can work towards resolving these challenges. Ms. Aisha, would you like to start off by offering your thoughts on possible solutions or strategies to address these concerns?
thank you for the moderator. So I will like to provide the possible ways to minimize the issues based on the concerns that I already discussed before. which is the performance or the quality of education based on the student's performance. So actually, I suggest that we increase the student performance and skills by improving their higher level thinking skills in everyday lessons. For instance, during teaching, teachers should reduce or abandon using objective questions only as to avoid the tendency of assessing the student based on only the answer or the best answer only. Instead, teacher can opt to use the open-ended questions to let students have the freedom of expressions, as well as to encourage the students to answer the question based on their opinions or thoughts. Other than that, pay attention to both quality and quantity. Improving the thinking skills of the students can also be done during the classroom teaching, which means that it doesn't have to rely on the examination or the assessment only. For example, teacher can assess the students based on their teaching and learning lesson every day. So even assessment come in many forms. So it does not come in the form of paper and pen only. So lastly, we should also systematically enhance teacher skills in teaching thinking skills and ensure that teachers participate in courses on setting higher level thinking questions to avoid low quality questions. So by doing so, it will encourage students' critical thinking skills, which is important to be integrated in the education in order to improve the students' performance. So I would like to give to the next panel.
Thank you, Ms. Aisyah, for sharing your insightful suggestions on how to address the concerns raised by the teachers. Your contributions have provided us with valuable ideas for moving forward and finding solutions to better improve the education system. Now, I would like to offer my perspective on this important matter. In light of the challenges discussed and the suggestions put forth, I want to emphasize the critical need to improve teachers' professional development. This area holds immense potential for enhancing the quality of education and addressing some of the concerns we have identified. Firstly, we can foster collaborative learning communities among the teachers. One key strategy involves fostering collaborative learning communities among our teachers, encouraging teachers to work together and also sharing experiences and also exchanging best practices can be a powerful way for them to build a culture of continuous learning. Not only the students are learning, but the teachers are also working towards a better teacher. And next is implementing comprehensive coaching or mentoring programs. Another essential component is the implementation of comprehensive coaching and mentoring programs for our teachers. This can be done in schools or in state, and providing dedicated coaches and mentors can offer personalized feedback or support and guidance to help the educators refine their teaching methods and overcome challenges that they face day to day. So these are some strategies that aim to empower our teachers and educators to enhance their professional growth, ultimately benefiting our education system as a whole. And last but not least, Mrs. Nuranisa, we value your input as well.
Thank you once again for your warm acceptance to listen to my input. In my perspective, one of the ways to minimize this issue regarding parents' role and attitude that contributes to the increase of orang asli's dropout statistics is by continued efforts by the government to orang asli communities so they could be included in the mainstream education. Education for orang asli peoples should be emphasized since childhood so that they are more exposed to the process of teaching and learning. It is also meant for them to keep their cultural identity intact. Apart from that, it can also be done with a high level of awareness and support from the orang asli parents. Policymakers, educators, and scholars have all agreed that the partnership between families and schools can enrich the educational experience of pupils. This also shows that besides continuous parental involvement, parents also have to set a goal for their children's education. Orang asli parents' goals are made based on their observation and knowledge of the importance of education. Thus, it is important for the school to prepare programs that increase parents' awareness of the importance of education. Awareness of the importance of education exists when parents are often exposed to the knowledge uh, by attending programs organized by schools. Previous studies have also shown that pupils whose parents have a productive relationship with teachers are likely to be more successful in school compared to pupils who are not productive. When parents reinforce what is learned by pupils in school, pupils will earn better grades, have higher attendance rates, able to complete their homework on time, show positive behavior, manage to finish school, and more likely to continue their studies to a higher level. However, the involvement and collaboration of community members is also important to ensure programs and school activities run smoothly. The school must set up programs and plan activities that take into account the attitude and sensitivity of parents and communities in order to create a learning experience that is easily understood by students. So, in summary, based on the studies that have been conducted, it can be concluded that parents should have a specific goal in teaching children so the children can perform well in education. Good academic performance enables orang asli pupils to get good careers, and it also allows the level of socio-economic status of these families to increase. That's all from me. Thank you.
All right. I would like to say thank you all for your active participation and insightful contributions to today's forum on the Malaysia's National Education Blueprint Project 2013-2025. And it has been a very valuable and enriching discussion with diverse perspectives and ideas shared by our fellow panel. As we conclude this forum, I would like to emphasize the importance of continuing the dialogue and working collectively among us to address challenges and opportunities discussed here. The exchange of knowledge and experiences is a crucial step towards positive change and progress in our education system. Before we end, I want to express our gratitude to our distinguished panelists, Mrs. Nuranisa Soleha and Ms. Aisyah Arifah, and to our dedicated participants and everyone who has made this forum possible. With that, I officially declare this forum closed. Thank you and have a wonderful day.